To 9 is the time. I have in the studio Crowny Ocha Emi. She is an MPhil student with the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. I also have in the studio Comfortamoakoattah. She is a mathematics tutor at the Accra Wesley Girls High School. She also runs a YouTube channel, Mathematics Made Easier. And you can have materials of that also on the Google Play Store. That's C-Math actually, forgive me, C-Math. And also the founder, Mathematics Made Easier channel. And a facilitator with the Secondary Education Improvement Project. We're expecting Bernard Benson to join us. Bernard is academic manager for the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. When he joins us, we'll speak further. That's Dr. Bernard. So for now, I'm going to start our conversation with Crowny and then Comfort. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I hope you're all well.
Yeah.
So you're all mathematicians?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Ooh. Let me start with you, Comfort. What really got you into that field? What got you into that field? What got you to really study mathematics to become a mathematician?
Oh, I love mathematics. So
why do you love mathematics?
Everything around us is mathematics. So everything we do, everything. Like when you go to the other field, agriculture, vocational, like virtually everything we do, everything around us is mathematics. The shapes and space. Mathematics is really
was the love there from the beginning? From the beginning. Oh, really?
My daddy is actually an engineer.
Oh,
and
so it's in the blood. Okay.
Yeah, so that's he's actually a factor. Okay, yeah, he took me as a mentor and he inspired me to go into this field.
Okay. Yeah. And during your schooling times, there was nothing that could discourage you in terms of how it was being taught?
No, okay. Daddy was a factor, as I said earlier on. So most of the times when I don't get things, I go to daddy.
Okay.
And he breaks everything down for me. And he wasn't a teacher though, but he was actually very good. Very, very good. Citing so many examples around me. For example, if I had this encounter where I was taught trigonometry and trigonometry ratio, like a whole lot of things. I wasn't getting it. And Daddy had to use just his fingers to teach me that concept.
Just his fingers?
Just his fingers.
Wow.
So, yeah, he was able to come up with all the formulas and all the ratios in trig. And I really appreciated that. And even in the room, he can cite so many examples of mathematics, things made of mathematics. And mensuration, Daddy usually use real objects. Cans, bottles in cylindrical form, cone, sphere, pyramid, and other things to teach me the concept. So, yeah, so I had a backup.
Oh, okay. From home. All right, let me move to Crowny. Crowny, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
All right, good to see you too. What also got you into that field, mathematics?
Yeah, so just like you said, I also fell in love with math. I was just
from the beginning.
From the beginning, from counting numbers to seeing how what you can do with math. I would always read math books. I actually started studying calculus in class 4.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, in class 4.
In class 4?
In class 4, yeah. That's when I was first introduced to calculus. And it was very interesting.
Where?
In Ghana, by my extra classes teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. So he would tell me more applications, like what can you use calculus for, like finding volume of, a container or looking at the speed at which water will flow. So they were all interesting things that drew me further to love mathematics. Yeah.
By your extra classes teacher?
Yeah, by my Mr. Hutton. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout outs to him. Yeah.
But at the main stream school, you were not introduced to calculus at that age?
No. In class 4 in Ghana, yes. I went to SDA, Laboni SDA. So over there, we're doing basics of math, adding and stuff. It was fun. I was grasping it, but I think having him, he saw I could do more at that level. So
how were you able to segregate? I mean, what your extra classes teacher was actually taking you through, which was a bit advanced compared to your age, and what you were going through at SDA Primary in Laboni? So that at least you know how to situate yourself. Okay, now I'm with my extra classes teacher. Now I'm in school.
I think it was the curiosity. Like, I just wanted to know more. So for me, okay, I understand what they're teaching at that level. So I wanted to know more. So it wasn't an issue of, is this hard to segregate? I was just a curious little girl. I really wanted to know as much as I could grasp. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And you're not doing MPhil?
Yeah, I'm doing an MPhil in quantum computing at Ames, Ghana.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences.
Yes, you're right.
So your first degree was in what?
My first degree was in mathematics. I minored in computer science because I was really fascinated with computers. Like, I was always thinking, how do they work? What are the wires in there? Like, what is happening? How do I see a screen? How am I typing A on a keyboard and I'm seeing A on a screen? Like, yeah, stuff like that. I wanted to know more about the internals of, computers. So I minored in computer science at the University of Ghana and did a major in math.
In math,
yeah.
Okay. But before University of Ghana, at the secondary school level, what did you do?
I did general science at Achimota School.
Huh? You did general science?
Okay. Yes, at Achimota School.
And then, did that change anything at all for you? Looking at that love you have from class 4 from mathematics, and then you go to secondary school, general science and art.
Yeah, so just like how everybody around us wants to do, like in Ghana, most people want to go into medicine. Like there's this hype around medicine and being a medical doctor. So at some point I was very confused. Like, should I study medicine or but I knew taking a path in general science I had more a greater chances at doing any of them if I changed my mind. Like I could go into medicine.
So general science gave you a broader
it gave me a broader because we're doing about 12 courses and it wasn't all science, but most of the concepts were had mathematical underpinnings. So yeah.
All right, okay. Today is International Day for Mathematics.
Yes.
Yes. So let me find out. Let me start from you.
Okay.
No, let me start from Chloe.
Okay.
What does a day actually mean, and what is it all about?
Okay, so just like the name says, International Day for Mathematics. So it's a day that everybody around the world has set aside to, tell people more about mathematics and encourage them to study math and develop like a skill in mathematics. So the day is March 14, which is 314. And 3.14 is a very important number in mathematics. It's the approximation of pi. And pi is very important.
Let's go over again.
Okay.
The day is March 14.
Yeah.
Which is 314.
314.
So 3 is March.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
and
go
3.14.
Let's break it out for some of us who are not mathematicians.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so let's go. Yeah.
Okay, so 3.14 is the approximate value for pi.
For pi.
Yeah, which is a constant number in mathematics. Yes, so it's not a coincidence that the day is March 14th. And as I said before, it's to encourage people to love math, to create more awareness about the importance of math. Because you find that in Ghana, most people are very scared of mathematics. They find it as a very difficult subject. So, a day has been set aside to, highlight this importance. Yeah.
All right. Comfort. She said in Ghana, most people are afraid of mathematics, which,
it's true.
Yeah, you were a teacher. Why are students afraid of mathematics?
Okay,
most students are afraid of mathematics.
Okay. All right, I would say maybe right from the scratch, right from the foundation, they didn't get a foundation very well. And if that happens, math is a build-up. So if your foundation is very weak, you will struggle your way through up and you won't be able to get a concept. So I will say it's partly from the teachers, the classroom teachers, who are supposed to give them the concepts through so many activities, discussion, group works, taking them out of the classroom to experience real life activity, for them to see the connection between what they are learning and their real life activities. If that lacks, then the students will grow up hating mathematics.
Like a lot of students, actually.
Yeah, they grow up hating math, and it's so sad because actually we do everything. Mathematics is everything. Okay, we use mathematics in our everyday life activity. Even with a woman who sells in the market, applies mathematics in her dealings. So if this happens, then it's really going to affect us as a nation. And so this day, we should also talk about things that will help us as a nation to be mathematical friendly or something. We should, policy makers, curriculum designers, everyone should get involved in helping our students out. Else, it's really going to affect us as a nation in some years to come.
Because back at school, some of the teachers who didn't like actually the math teacher.
I think the math teacher is the most hated teacher.
Yes, and then
in the school.
Even at the higher level, you realize that some of these teachers, you're doing statistics and all that, and they are just not friendly. And they make teaching, they teach you in a way as if you're in a prison. And if you don't understand, they don't care.
Yeah, this mental thing. The cane is on your head. If you get it wrong, they just lash you.
Yeah, I agree that the methods that we've used in the past too.
So instead of you teaching multiplication, teaching is from known to unknown. Why don't you build it from what the child knows already? If it is multiplication, why don't you build from addition? If multiplication is repeated addition, 2 times 3 is 6. Why don't you tell the child that if you add 2 to itself 3 times, you get 6? It should be a build-up from what he knows already to what you are trying to introduce to the child. So I think right from the scratch, if there's a problem at the basic, and so qualified and trained teachers should be sent to the basic level to help our students out with so many practical activities in mathematics.
All right. So how do you, what's the main content in your YouTube channel, Mathematics Made Easier?
I teach mathematics.
Okay.
I take them through practical ways.
At all levels?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay.
At all levels, junior high and senior high.
And senior high, senior high school level.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, that's impressive. So you get your students to go on YouTube to learn more?
Yes, please.
All right. What has been the feedback so far?
Very encouraging, because I have been involving most teachers. Have also been benefiting from the page, especially my CE Math app on Google Play Store. I've made samples of the lesson notes as a guide to teachers on how to prepare lesson notes. I have sections with some short courses for pre-SHS students. Even before they get into senior high school, they should get some knowledge of what they are going to learn at the senior high school. And so it has really been helping a lot of teachers as well as students.
Right. You talked about getting qualified people at the junior high school level to really teach these young ones in mathematics, which is very important. Through your academic journey, would you say that everything you know now and what you're teaching these children in mathematics are things you got from the various institutions you attended?
About 80% of it.
Okay, and the 20% is what?
20% is as you explore, you have to learn more on your own too as a student. You have to find out more why this is that, why, there are so many concepts, why any number exponent 0 is 1. Why? You have to find out more. That's why then you should be able to get answers to it, and that will give you more knowledge, and you appreciate the learning of mathematics the more as you.
So in other words, the teacher too, you also need some bit of effort. You need to invest in yourself. A lot.
You have to do a lot of research. You have to engage in a lot of training and some courses, some professional courses to build you up as a teacher. You shouldn't be a one-way teacher. No, you should adopt so many strategies in your teaching to suit the learning needs of your students. Yeah, so that is it.
All right. Connie, you talked earlier about how important mathematics is.
Yeah.
Let's bring it to the country Ghana.
Okay.
And how that importance can reflect in our development.
Okay. So as Comfort has said earlier, mathematics is all around us. You find mathematics being applied apart from the market women, or your mom sending you to buy some groceries and you calculating the price and all that. You can find it as high as the banking sector, finance and banking. You can find it in medicine. in chemistry, there's a lot of mathematics that goes into drug synthesis. In finance, risk management, risk analysis. How likely is someone to default from a loan, right? Interest on loans. There's a lot of math that goes into calculating these things. So it's very. I think it's quite obvious if mathematics is taken seriously in Ghana. People will be very solution driven, right? And in Ghana, there are a lot of I won't say problems, but challenges that we face all around us. So. Like I said, I've given the banking industry. If we have mathematicians there heavily, then we can know how to manage our budget.
Usually the whole understanding, then a misconception about mathematics is that when you are done, there's no job for you. You're just going to the classroom. But now it's turning out gradually, it's changing. Yes, you can actually do mathematics everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and that's also because math opens your mind up. You're able to think critically, and reason, logically. Because when you get to a certain level, your mathematics homework is no more just calculations. It's about you, conveying some information through steps. Like everything has to be logical. And I feel if you're able to do that at that level, then everywhere you find yourself, whether as a minister, as a someone in the marketplace, or anywhere you find yourself, you can convey some logical reasoning and critical thinking.
So you do a lot of research?
Yes, I am doing a lot of research right now.
Okay, all right. What are some of the research works you're doing?
Okay, so my research right now is on self protocols in quantum computing. So I'm going to break it down. So there's a computer in front of you right now. There's a whole theory governing the way your computer works. Now, your computer can only solve problems up to a certain point, or a certain class of problems that this computer in front of you can solve. Now, there are other really difficult problems that this computer can solve. So my research is on the discovery of a new computer that's different from, it works on principles that are different from what the computer we have today, runs on, and that's the quantum computer. So, for instance, there's a lot of security concerns about the internet right now. Someone can hack you from, miles away and all that. So this new computer promises to prevent that.
Oh, okay.
Right? It promises to secure the internet more. It promises to allow us find new solutions to or new cures to diseases like cancer, right? And my research is on this computer to finally bring it to life. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, let me move to Comfort.
So,
is mathematics for everyone? Can anybody at all do mathematics?
Anybody at all can do mathematics.
Anybody at all?
Anybody at all, because it's a universal language that we all speak. When you learn 1 + 1 in Ghana, when you go to America, they say 1 + 1 as 2. So anybody at all.
You usually hear people who go like me, I'm not good in maths. Charlie, maths is not my thing. I don't have the brains for maths. I don't have the head for mathematics.
It's so hurting.
It's so hurting.
I get so much hurt when I hear those things. When I hear of those things.
Why do you get hurt?
Because even the person saying that might be a vocational student, or because most students swap science to do home econs because of mathematics, but they go and meet them, they apply mathematics even a lot during cooking and mixing of flours and other things, even sewing. You apply mathematics in your cutting, measurements, and if you're not a good mathematician, you can't be a good seamstress. Okay, so it's quite interesting, and yeah.
What can be done to change that mindset? At least you are in a good position for that. So what can be done to change that mindset?
For me, you have to study your students and involve a lot of activities in your teaching. It shouldn't be open your book, solve this question. It shouldn't be a roots learning method always, or a lecture method, because there are lots of activities, lots of things around us that you can use to cite examples for these students to picture You understand? You take your students out of the classroom, show them a lot of pictures, a lot of videos on what you are teaching. Some students are audiovisual learners, okay, so they learn best when they see and hear what you are doing or what you are saying. Some students who like to touch things. In this case, you as a teacher should send enough teaching and learning materials to the classroom. Give them the opportunity to have a feel of those teaching and learning materials. Let them know, let them understand, let them count it themselves. Let them do the activities themselves so they will come out with the meaning of the concept you are introducing. Okay, you shouldn't be the carrier of all knowledge, but give them the opportunity to also come out with the understanding based on the knowledge they have in their immediate environment. So as a teacher, we have a lot to do, a lot of research should go into teaching before you come to the classroom. You have to do a lot of planning before you come into the classroom, and with this, you should be competent yourself. The content matter, you should have mastery over it before you set your foot into the classroom. And I believe with this, we will help our students. Yes.
When the teachers are being trained, do they go through that process you talked about, making it much more practical for the students and moving away just from the classroom teaching and making it much more visual for students?
Oh, training college, they take us through. I went to training college, for College of Education, and so we went through those activities, those methodologies of teaching. Yes, we studied methodologies of teaching, both the basic level and the senior high level.
So what happens when they get to the classroom and they find it difficult to apply those things?
I would say that it's because of the nature of our curriculum. The topics are so many on the teacher that he wants to rush out and finish with everything within a given time. For a semester, you just have to cover about 9 topics per semester. And how possible it is, you have to just be rushing through the topics. Our system is such a way that it is exams conscious. Let's do it and pass the exams.
Yes.
You know, so
we just chew and pour.
Students are forced to chew and pour. Let me do it. Let me get my A and go.
You chew the formulas and all that. You sit down.
The formulas.
Exams. When you sit down, you have it. So you just write it down and just.
That is it. We even have formula books for students.
Yes, you have formula books for students. Yes.
So with that, you can apply what students lack the applications. How am I going to apply what I'm learning in my everyday life activity after school? What happens? What happens next after learning Pythagoras theory? What am I going to use it for when I complete school? Charlie, let me learn the
hypotenuse. Sometimes there's this jokes we find on social media. You find media people who say that, so we studied this, we studied that. You have about 5 boys you asked to go and read a plot of land and all that.
Because teachers lack to tell them the application. Yes.
And then these people, these media people will say, I mean, all these that we studied, it ends up coming nothing. And I go like, no, ignorantly.
Yes.
They just do not know that
even if you're going to buy a piece of cloth, you have to measure. And it is mathematics.
Yes. All right. Let me just say good morning to Dr. Bernard. Is it Basin? Yes. And he is he's the academic manager for the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning.
I hope you're good.
Doing very well, yourself?
All right, I'm okay. Thank you. And thanks for joining us. Let's talk about mathematics. First of all, let's talk about the African Institute for Mathematical Science. What do you guys do? And after that, we'll talk about mathematics in Africa.
All right, thank you. So the African Institute for Mathematical Science is a Pan-African institution. It's actually a UNESCO Category 2 institution. So what we do is to train young, talented Africans to become leaders in the transformation of Africa. So what we look forward to do is to get people equipped with adequate resources and skills so that they'll be able to effectively contribute to the development of Africa.
And for how long have you been doing this?
So we've been in existence in Ghana for 10 years, but within Africa, it's more than that.
Right. I read out earlier top 7 countries that have got the best mathematician. Started from Singapore, Australia, Russia, I think Japan, India, and China, and then Iran. Of course, there's no African country there. What's the state of mathematics in Africa? I mean, what you have done over the years.
I mean, I wouldn't say that Africa is not performing.
I'm not saying they're not performing, though, but I'm looking at the grading there.
Yeah. I mean, yes, we are not there yet.
Yes. Just hold on for me. Let's go for the news in brief at 9.
Okay.
When we return, then you can address this question.
Okay,
It's 9 o'clock. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to News in Brief at 9. Former Director General of the Ghana Health Service and Wellness Consultant, Professor Agyemang Akosa, has cautioned Ghanaians of health hazards of industrial synthetic oils that have flooded the market. Professor Akosa warned that oils that choke the bloodstreams and block the arteries mostly increase bad cholesterol cases in the country. Revealing this in a new video to educate Ghanaians about the dangers of synthetic cooking oils, the wellness consultant said Ghanaians have rather abandoned their own natural oils such as shea, coconut, and palm oils that are safe and best for boosting the immune system. He said the foreign companies started producing the synthetic oils when they realized they could not have produced natural oils, stressing that they needed it for profit-based intentions but not health safety. Professor Akosa said the assertions that our vegetable oils and have omega-3 and 6 are all lies. He said it is a pity that Ghanaians have resorted to use of these oils to endanger their lives. 5 people lost their lives and others sustained various degrees of injury in an accident at Kowu of Kumasi in the eastern region when a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter bus with registration number GC 622121 with 11 passengers on board from Accra towards Kumasi ran into a stationary articulated truck with Burkina Faso registration number BF 929-00603. According to reports, the police and personnel of the Ghana Fire Service took the injured passengers to the Holy Family Government Hospital at Nkoko. In an interview with GBC News, the Eastern Regional Police PRO DSP Ebenezer Tete said the passengers who sustained severe injuries were taken to St. Joseph's Hospital in Koforidua.
From 5:30 a.m., suspect driver at that road was in charge of Mercedes-Benz Sprinter bus with registration number GC 221/21 with 11 passengers on board from Accra towards Kumasi. And reaching the section of the road at Kowu Pharmacy on Nkoko Accra Highway, we ran into a stationary back activated truck with Burkina Faso registration number BF 9290-0603 parked at the near side shoulder of the road when facing Nkoko direction. Photo Traffic Transport Department officers from the Nkoko division were quickly called in and they rushed to the scene. And with assistance of personnel from the Divisional Fire Service, they were able to extricate the injured passengers and had them rushed to the Holy Family Government and Kinop Care Hospital at Nkoko. 5 male unidentified adults among the injured persons were later confirmed medically dead at the Holy Family Hospital, while the driver and other victims are currently receiving treatment on admission at the Holy Government Hospital. Those with severe injuries have been transported to the St. Joseph Hospital in Koforidua for further medical care. Bodies of the deceased persons have been deposited at the same hospital, that is the Holy Family Hospital at Nkoko, for preservation, identification, and autopsy. The Nkoko Divisional NPCD have commenced investigations into the matter.
That was the Eastern Regional Police PRO DSP Ebenezer Tete. The number of people known to have died in a train crash in the Democratic Republic of Congo has risen to 75. The train derailed and fell into a ditch in the southeastern village of Buefe on Thursday. It was a freight service but carried hundreds of stowaways. The Information Ministry said 125 people were also injured when the train derailed because of a sudden track cut. President Félix Tshisekedi, who is in the Belgian capital Brussels for a medical checkup, has consoled the victims. UN-sponsored radio reports that among the injured were 4 children whose parents died on the spot. And that ends News in Brief at 9.
to Woman, your authoritative program that tackles issues on gender, women's development, health, and other social issues affecting women and girls, now airs on Tuesday afternoons at 12:05. Take notes and tune into the program this and every Tuesday afternoon at 12:05. Connect with us on Facebook, Woman to Woman on Unique FM. Woman to Woman, your authoritative gender and social inclusion program.
All right, 5 minutes past 9 is the time. Welcome back from the newsroom. That was the news in brief at 9, and shortly after the show ends, that's going to be at 10 o'clock, we'll have news in brief, and after that we'll have time for the mid-morning affair. For now, our guests are here with us, and we're talking about mathematics. Today is International Day for Mathematics, and our guests are here with us. So I have comfortamoakoattah, who is a mathematician, tutor at the Accra Wesley Girls High School. She runs a YouTube channel, Mathematics Made Easier. Also, if you go to Google Play Store, she has an app there that's C Maths. She's also the founder for Mathematics Made Easier channel and a facilitator with secondary education improvement projects. She's a big woman. I mean, and then we have Dr. Bernard Basin. Yes, he is the academic manager for African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. And then Crowny Ucha Eme. She is an MPhil student of Africa Institute for Mathematical Sciences. Imagine someone doing MPhil in mathematics. You can imagine. Yes, Bernard, I asked a question, Doc. I asked a question earlier concerning Africa, and I mentioned the top 7 countries that we've got the best mathematician, from Singapore to Russia to Australia to Japan to China to Iran. And then India.
Yeah, it is true that Africa is not there, but like I was saying, that it's not that we are not doing much, but the numbers is what we are counting. So, for example, Ghana just lost Francis Alote, Prof, who was really a renowned physicist, a mathematical physicist, and his contributions, if you go into the physics world, it's highly acclaimed. It's remarkable, and a lot of people are using it for amazing things. But the numbers are not many. So this is why institutes such as the African Institute for Mathematical Science is coming in to help drive this force, so that we can have as many as possible. And then in few years to come, we can find our names there as well.
Are we getting there in having that many as possible?
Yes. So over the 10 years, AIMS Ghana alone has trained over 2,000 candidates who are doing a lot on the continent. About more than 70% are on the continent and working. A few of them have gone overseas. And if you look at the statistics and what they've been up to, I think we are in the right direction.
All right. You talked about Professor Alote. I also remember Professor Anku. I think we lost him somewhere in the last year. Yeah, Professor Anku.
So the numbers are not many, and so this is why we are not feeling the effect that we actually want to see. But yes, the very few ones that we have around us are doing amazing things.
I was talking to Comfort and then Crowny about the mode of teaching mathematics, which happens to make a lot of people so scared or even afraid in going into something like that. What can we do to change that fear attached to mathematics?
I think it's a whole holistic thing that we all have to come on board. A lot of the times people are made to believe that math is something that is not doable. It is for the nerd. As you can see, these beautiful girls are doing it. So they should tell us that it is not for the nerd, and it's not for people who, in quotes, look somehow. Previously, you would want to see professors in grey hair, but these days that is not the case. Ideally, I wouldn't have been a doctor by now if we were going to look at it in terms of what was happening earlier on, as young as I am, and then having a doctorate degree.
In mathematics?
In mathematics, yes.
Oh.
And there are so many that we can count. So I wouldn't say that it is not doable. As a society, we need to embrace the fact that we need people who have been trained mathematically, because it opens up your brain so much that you can do a lot of critical thinking. And these guys should be employed in almost every sector that we can think of. There's a lot of contributions that everyone doing math can have in almost all the sectors. That is why we are saying that mathematics unite. As the theme for this year's International Day of Mathematics celebration, because mathematicians are finding themselves in the health sciences, they are finding themselves in the finances, they are finding themselves in engineering, in any space that you can think of. It would interest you to know that there is even mathematics in music. And so if we should make people appreciate the fact that math is everywhere, then people will no more be afraid, but then would want to take that direction, because they know that they can actually apply it everywhere that they want to be.
Where should we start from for people to really get to do the math is everywhere? Should it be a whole national thing or what?
I think it should be.
A national thing?
It should be.
Okay. All right. Led by the ministry?
Led by ourselves. Let us not push it to the leaders that we have.
But we need leadership, though.
Of course, we do need them, but we should push them. We should drive them that, hey, let's all do this together. There are a lot of times, there are a lot of things in the economy that we push it to the leaders to give us the drive to do it. But I think that it's about time that the community itself, the society itself, also gets up to say that, hey, this is what we want to do, and leaders come on board and let's get it done.
Okay, all right. And is there any events to commemorate the day?
Yes, we are organizing the International Day of Mathematics celebration at the Alisa Hotel today at 10 a.m. this morning. And we will also launch the 10 years existence of AIMS Ghana in Ghana. Yeah.
So AIMS is 10 years?
AIMS is 10 years.
And you actually coincide with this day too?
Yes.
Okay, all right. My lines are beeping. Maybe I'll just pick one or two calls. 0244795355 and then 0244658592. Let's see who's first on the line. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, George.
Elijah Dada, good morning. Let's hear you.
Yes. Doc, do we need some special kind of dieting to be able to know math very well? I'm asking this question because India seems to have a lot of mathematicians. Then two, the lady who said in sewing, arithmetic, you need arithmetic and cooking. What is the difference between arithmetic and mathematics? Two, what is econometrics? And three, why is it that docs, your men from science and tech who have first degree in mathematics are refused jobs in the ministry just because they have only single subject called mathematics as a major? And two, if that is so, how many students do you need? And in a period, do you need 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour for a student to understand mathematics when you are in the class? I have just taken coffee this morning. When your brains are dull and your teacher comes to say mental, 1 + 2, 4 by 4 by answer, you have to answer. Do you need to take coffee, or what meal do you have to take to ginger you up to be able to stand the test of quick response? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aladi Dawda. That's an interesting one, Doc.
That's an interesting question. Yeah. I wouldn't say that you need a special diet to be able to study mathematics. You just need a will to do it. You should have a reason that you want to do it, and I'm sure that you will put a lot of effort into achieving that, and that's possible. I eat everything that everyone else eats, and I have not seen any of my colleagues eating something special before they're able to study mathematics. It is true that elsewhere they do take a lot of coffee to stay active. There are some people who are naturally active, and so they wouldn't have to be taking those things. But if you feel dull and you think that coffee helps you, fine, you can do have a bit of it, but don't take too much. That is going to give you adverse effect in the long run. But ideally, I don't think there's any special diet that you have to take to do mathematics.
All right. He also wants to find a difference between mathematics and arithmetic and maybe economic.
I would say arithmetic is a branch of mathematics, one of the branches. So math has so many branches. And so arithmetic is just one branch of it. Yes.
Okay. And economic? Well, economic. The economic. Economics, yeah.
Okay.
You apply?
Yeah, the mathematics
okay.
in economics. And now our curriculum is the new curriculum that we are designing, if it's really being implemented, it will help our students a lot. Because it's really going to take away this children pouring or roots learning away from our system.
If
yes.
Okay, all right.
And that's
morning.
exactly what is happening at AIMS Ghana.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Robert.
All right, Robert, let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. You know, there is something that I noticed, and this is not the first time that I'm going to talk about that, especially from A-level up to SSC. There were a lot of students who were very, very inclined in mathematics then, but unfortunately, most of them had aggregate G in English language. Because of that, universities and polytechnics did not actually take these students to study mathematics to impart that knowledge in other generations. And that has become a very astronomical and monumental problem because those who did not do well in mathematics rather pass the English language very well. Some of them end up in training college and they are teaching mathematics today. And sometimes I'm one of the best mathematicians in Ghana here. I can even say without any equivocation. And sometimes when you go and see the kind of teachers that we have teaching student mathematics, it is very problematic. And the Ministry of Education do something about that with a sense that when a student perform very well in mathematics and couldn't pass or do not have thesis or aggregate D in English language, that student can be given opportunity to study mathematics in university. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Robert. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
I'm S.A. Kumpung.
I'm sorry?
Samuel Apasant, retired for GVC.
Okay, let's hear you, sir.
Of Tech. I compared you 1970.
Oh, you went to Suter School?
Yes, I know you are my junior.
Okay, let's hear you.
And back at GVC, I had a power generation at the OHAS for 20 years before coming on retirement. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening, yeah.
Which year did you complete Tech?
I completed in 2003.
So 2003, 2003, and I completed, I don't know, last year, 61 years back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, Gate 3, GBC, New House, Gate 3.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the grandfather. That's why I was.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was in flat 6.
Okay. All right.
So one day I'll get a chance to talk to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Go for it. What Robert talked about concerning English, yes.
That is why now the National Science Education Unit, now the STEM, National Science STEM, they are led by the director, Madame Olivia Sewao-Pare. She's organizing so many workshops for teachers across the country. Okay, so in every last year like this, we went through almost all the regions. And so she's organizing workshops to train teachers, to take them through some step-by-step ways or practical ways of teaching some challenging topics in mathematics. Because if the teacher is not well informed or doesn't know the content very well, obviously he can't teach the students to their understanding. So that is what she has taken it upon herself to organize workshops for these students, for these teachers, to also impart it on their students.
All right. Bernard, you have any take on the doctor on the English thing?
Sure. I mean, I would say that you cannot do mathematics without English. Whatever we write, you read it as you're reading a storybook, and it should be so comprehensible and succinctly written. So there's no way you can do very well at the highest level in math without your English being good. So. And we can see the ripple effect of all that he was talking about, that there are a lot of times we don't encourage those ones to take their English seriously so that they can go further. And so when they get back into the classrooms, we've all seen what happens, and we are feeling the effect with the grades that our students are,
So you
putting out.
think it's fair for a student to get, let's say, A in core maths, A in elective maths, but a D in English?
You cannot get a D in English if you are getting A's in all of those.
But anything can happen.
I mean,
You should be able,
you should be able to, because
understand it.
whatever math you are reading,
Okay,
you
let's
read
say
it with the
a
English
C, a C
language.
in English.
I would want a B3 minimum.
Ooh,
Yes,
okay.
I would want a B3 minimum.
That's interesting.
Because your mathematics and your English should go together.
You're not going to compromise on that.
No.
That's cool. All right. As you said, there's an event coming up today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the venue again is at
Alisa Hotel.
Alisa Hotel. Okay. The time?
10 a.m.
Okay. All right.
See you there. Come see what the African
African.
Institute for Mathematical Sciences is doing. We have a teacher training program. We have a master's training program. We have PhD programs. And then we also have a Girls in Mathematics
Girls in
program
Mathematics
where
program.
we encourage them, we boost them to take up careers in mathematical sciences. So come
Right.
hear us.
You know, I always have a regret. I regret I actually allowed those kind of fears to actually weigh me down in mathematics. Oh, yeah.
Come,
I
let's
mean,
take it off.
Growing up, at this age, you can still do something about it.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
At this age?
You can.
Then I'll come.
Everyone is
Because
welcome.
I know someone who studied mathematics at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He's a hot cake.
Wow.
Yes.
Come get a lot of
Almost-
transferable skills.
Almost every I'm not talking about Ghanaian companies. International companies actually want him.
Wow.
And his working experience from day one has been with international companies
That is
because of mathematics. That's
That
all.
is it.
And mostly he's involved in calculating risk or issues concerning risk analysis and all that.
This is the song we should be singing so that everybody will know that math is not horror. It's
Yeah.
not something that
Yeah.
you cannot do, and it's
Yeah.
not something that will get you stacked along the way.
If I had just not allowed that to hit me down, I would have also been dropping a lot of money like that.
Of course.
Thanks a lot, and
Thank you
and I
very
hope
much.
we talk more. And congratulations to all of you. I mean,
Thank
doing
you.
mathematics, your PhD in mathematics. She's a mathematics teacher. Yes, and very soon you have a PhD in mathematics. And,
Yeah, I've also applied in very soon.
oh, very soon. Then our doc is here in mathematics.
Yeah.
Charlie, you guys have done. Soon to be professor in mathematics. You guys have done well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope that at least some of us will be following up soon. And we're
Sure.
actually training the young ones too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
I'm sure there is even mathematics in E-Levy. Not very easy. Not very easy.